Hello dear friends, I'm Rudolf Balazhnis. I am director of Charity Foundation Family of Christ, and I have an honor to introduce you guys one of the what I see in news. And can you introduce yourself, brother?
So my name is Ken Rhee. I'm from South Korea. I'm a former military officer. So I run a company called Rock Seal, and what we do is consulting for the military, for law enforcement, and also for the entertainment industry. So for example, there's a lot of Korean movies out there that are good movies from Netflix or whatever, and I teach actors, actresses how to shoot weapons, and I work with the directors for military depiction, so they can get the movies pretty accurately.
Your action, was good, like I know, careers and everything. When you hear the calling?
Well, I saw on TV President Zelensky, he's like, we need foreign fighters from European nations only. And I'm like, okay, South Korea is not a European nation, so I can't go. And then I think it was a few days later, he said, we need foreign fighters from anywhere in the world. And I'm like, all right, well, this is the call. And I went to the embassy in South Korea, did the paperwork, and got on board. Yeah, so that's what I did. So that was at the very beginning of the war, but when I actually got to Ukraine, it was March 6th.
Cool. So what is your first impression from Ukraine? You was first time in Ukraine?
Yeah, it was my first time in Ukraine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So you came in Ukraine, you crossed the border, you met probably soldiers.
Yeah.
And what's your impression?
Well, the first thing that really came to my mind is that this war is very different than the wars that I've been in. Very different than Iraq, very different than Somalia. It's because we're going against a superpower, Russia. You know, the enemy had lots of artillery, a lot, and it was a different kind of war because it made us feel like we're no longer technologically advanced. We're actually the insurgents now.
Oh, you have a big experience.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 38 years old.
38?
Yeah.
And you have so many different...
Well, I'm not that young either. Not old, but not that young. Yeah.
So you have I don't know, probably in South Korea you have a wonderful life. You have careers and everything. But it's for us Ukrainian to pick up your butt and bring your butt to Ukraine. For me, it's like something need motivating you. What was motivating you?
I came to Ukraine, which is against the Korean law. We have a passport law. The president said no one enters Ukraine starting from February of this year because of the crisis. And I came in March, so I violated the law. But what's the bigger picture? Is to help defend a sovereign nation against the Russian invaders. That's big. That's huge. I think that trumps the law. The law is not that important at this time. If I need to cross the street and break a red light to save a kid that fell, I'm gonna do it. I don't care about that traffic law. I'm gonna save that kid, right? But what I wanna tell the Korean people is, what is most important? People just keep criticizing me about the law or whatever, about the paperwork, the red tape, but always ask yourself, what is the most important thing you gotta do at this time? And that's a decision that I made, and I have no regrets, and I stand by my decision.
We wanna help you, we wanna encourage your country, and we would 100% to support you, because now it's really big for us, inspiring when somebody come from far, come and your first time in Ukraine. If you would have a relative, this will be more easy that you would oh, I have a relative, so I come in.
Yeah, it was tough to get here. I had to go to Qatar first, and then from Qatar here, it's a long flight, you know? Yeah. But yeah, it's my first time in Ukraine. I wish I came here under better circumstances, like maybe visiting or sightseeing, but...
Someday, maybe you will come and open with us our house when we want to adopt kids.
Yeah, I hope to come back here, so and we'll see.
Yeah, what do you would say about Ukrainian army? About our angel, because this is our protection, our...
Yeah. Well, I worked with the Ukrainian Special Forces, and they are fearless warriors. I gotta say, I have a lot of respect for them. They know what the mission is, they know what the grander scheme is, and they're just ready to sacrifice anything for their country. And that is very admirable, very respectable. I mean, I think the Ukrainians will win this war because they have the fighting spirit. I don't think the Russians are anywhere close to the fighting spirit that the Ukrainians have. Russians, their morale is bad. They have a lot of deserters, a lot of soldiers fleeing the battlefield, and they don't like being here. But the Ukrainians, they're gonna stand ground. They're gonna do what they have to protect their homeland, and I'm glad that I'm fighting with the Ukrainians.
Yeah, thank you. So I know that you will need healing, recover.
Yeah.
What happened? How it happened? Can you share?
Yeah, so I busted both of my knees. I have ACL tears in both knees, meniscus rupture, lateral tear, and usually with this kind of injury, it's going to take a long time to heal, especially if you want to avoid surgery and do it with conservative measures like rehab, right?
Yeah.
So, but I'm optimistic because usually in the Special Forces world, we believe that we heal faster
That's true.
than the average person. So I'm going to do what I can to really speed up the recovery process.
Yeah.
I feel better already, so that's good.
Yeah.
Doctor recommended surgery, and I'm like, nope, I'm going to heal myself.
Rehabilitation.
Yeah. Through conservative measures. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, we will pray for you, man, and that I hope that soon you will be in the same uniform how you came, and it's really glad to see you, glad to meet you.
Yeah.
And if you want to give some message to the international soldiers, international supports, we would be so glad if you would share to the whole world what's going on in Ukraine.
The Korean War back in 1950 to 53, it was pretty bad, but we won the war. And the reason why we won the war is because of the international community, because we got support from the entire world. And I don't forget that. That was before my time, before I was born. But I remember what happened. We read about it, we study it. Coming to Ukraine, me being a Korean, me being a foreigner in this country, no doubt in my mind that this was the right thing to do. And I think to help Ukraine, the international community coming together and helping Ukraine will make this war end sooner than later. Ukraine will win for sure because you have the support of the international community. It was crazy when I was on an operation because I look around, I look at my team and everyone's got a different flag.
Yes.
You got a Korean, you got an American, you got a British national, you got Finland, France, Georgia, It's crazy, all in one team, doing the same mission to defeat the Russians. Yeah.
Thank you so much that you
thank
come.
you.
Bless you.
Yeah, thank
and
you for
hope to
having
see
me.
you.
All right.
And when we will win of the war, we will victory together.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, guys. Come and see this, what we did it.